everybody, it's Yanni Hamburger, and why not save the best for last? Happy Halloween, everybody. We've made it to the end. Our 31st movie that we did this month. And boy, oh boy, am I happy that it's Halloween. This is the final film of our 31 Days of Halloween. One of my personal favorite movies. My favorite date night movie. It's Night of the Living Dead. Sibling. Da, 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 da. All right. Night of the Living Dead, kids. Here we go. Siblings Barbara and Johnny, they're coming to get you, Barbara, drive to a cemetery in rural Pennsylvania to visit their father's grave, where a pale man in a tattered suit unalives Johnny and attacks Barbara. She flees to a nearby farmhouse, but the resident's corpse lying half-eaten on the stairs. A growling horde of ghouls, and we'll get into that in a minute, are soon found and surrounding the stranger. Ben arrives and initially mistakes Barbara as the homeowner. After driving back several ghouls, he boards the windows and doors. While searching the homes for supplies, he locates a lever-action rifle. A nearly catatonic Barbara is surprised to find people are already taking shelter in the home's cellar. Harry, his wife Helen, and their young daughter Karen are there after a group of the same monsters overturned their car and bit Karen on the arm. This is what we call foreshadowing. A couple, Tom and Judy, took shelter after hearing an emergency broadcast about the series of brutal killings. Tom and Ben secure the farmhouse while Harry protests that it is unsafe above ground before returning to the cellar. Ghouls continue to besiege the farmhouse in increasing numbers. The refugees listen to the radio and television reports of an army of cannibalistic corpses committing mass unalivings across the east coast of the United States, and of the possess of armed men patrolling the countryside trying to exterminate the living dead. Reports confirm that the ghouls can die from heavy blows to the head, bullets to the brain, or being burned. Various rescue centers offer refuge and safety, and scientists theorize that radiation from an exploding space probe returning to Venus caused the reanimations. Ben devises a plan to obtain medical supplies for Karen and transport the group to a rescue center by refueling the truck. On the farm, Ben, Tom, and Judy all drive there together, holding the ghouls off with torches and Molotov cocktails. If anybody else thinks this is a bad idea, raise your hand right now. And of course, the truck explodes. Yeah, it killed Tom and Judy. Ben returns and breaks down the door when Harry doesn't let him in. The remaining survivors attempt to figure a way out. They pause their discussion to watch the 3 a.m. news update until the power goes bye-bye. The ghouls soon break the doors and the windows of the unit, or the unlit home. In the chaos, Harry grabs Ben's gun but is disarmed and shot by Ben. Harry staggers down the stairs and dies right next to his daughter. Karen dies from her injuries, becomes a ghoul, and eats her father's remains. She stabs her mother to death with a masonry trowel. Barbara tries to help Ben keep the ghouls out, but a reanimated Johnny drags her away. As the horde breaks in, Ben takes refuge in the cellar, where he shoots Harry's and Helen's ghouls. In the morning, an armed posse arrives to dispatch the remaining ghouls. Woken by their gunfire and sirens, Ben emerges from the cellar, but they shoot him, mistaking him for a ghoul. His body is thrown onto the bonfire with the rest of the ghouls. So there you go. That is basically how it goes. Of course, the cast: Dwayne Jones, Judith O'Dea, Carl Hardman, Marilyn Eastman, Carla Shawn, Keith Wayne, Judith Riley, Bill Hinsman, George Costanza. No, not the guy. Yeah, and Bill Chili Billy Cardle as himself. That's right. He is. By the way, Chili Billy was a well-known presenter in the TV Pittsburgh, or the Pittsburgh TV area, I should say. who hosted a horror film anthology series called Chiller Theater. His daughter Lori would go on to star in Day of the Dead. So there you go. So yeah, they called them ghouls, not zombies, in this movie. And I've always liked that. And I've noticed that a lot of people love using the term ghoul instead of zombie, which is great for me because, I mean, I enjoy it. And, you know, again, you can always find a whole bunch of stuff on this one. It is one of the greatest movies ever made. It obviously launched George Romero's career. John Russo also helped write the screenplay in this one. I mean, it's this movie is perfection. If you've never seen this movie, please do. As a matter of fact, I actually do have a story. When I was a kid, you know, I'm in my 40s. I'll admit that right now. You know, we used to have UHF channels. And you know, the UHF channels would always, you know, Saturday nights, if you didn't have your own horror host, which we didn't, but on Saturday nights, there's always some old horror movie that, you know, they waited till, you know, 9 o'clock to show, thinking, you know, maybe the kids will be asleep by then. I just remember sitting down and watching this movie when I was about 6 years old. I loved it. It wasn't the first horror movie I ever saw. It's still an absolutely beautiful movie. But anybody who has ever asked me about what my favorite horror movie is, this gets mentioned a lot. It's Day of the Dead. You know, any one of those movies in that trilogy, I just absolutely adore. And that's what it is. All right, that'll do it. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll be back on normal scheduled. Yes, I am no longer neglecting the channel. We're back on regular stuff now. And November brings a lot of good fun. I can't wait. Coming up on Monday, by the way, is the first episode of Monochrome Monday. We will sit down and review some of my favorite black and white movies, and this will eventually be on Monochrome Monday. All right, so have a good weekend. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hamburger out.